Hi, I'm Beth Rowley. I'm a director at Castle Employment. I oversee the industrial, engineering, manufacturing and procurement divisions.
So I'm Jess Russell. I'm a director at Castle Employment Group, but specifically the director of our Leeds hub.
I'm Jordana Renshaw and I'm one of the directors at Castle, and I lead and oversee the business support division and HR division.
I'm Anna Wilson. I'm a director here at Castle Employment Group and I manage the HR and Training Solutions division.
I'm Jo Revett and I'm the finance director of Castle Employment.
I'm Louise Scott. I'm a director here at Castle Employment Group and I have responsibility for the accountancy and finance division and the technology recruitment division.
My name is Kerry Hope. I'm the managing director and owner at Castle Employment Group.
In the accounts department straight after when I left college, and I did my AAT level 2 whilst running the weekly payroll for all the temporary workers. So I did that for a year and then I moved over to the hospitality division and then I moved over to the industrial division. I grew a team at ProPack Foods, so I hired and started to manage that team. I then moved over to manage the rest of the industrial division, and then now I manage the industrial, engineering, manufacturing and procurement division and have become a director.
So I joined Castle 8 years ago and I was just returning to work after having my third child. Wanted to work from home, wanted to work part-time, so did school hours from home and started the engineering and manufacturing division, working on the desk myself. Over the course of 5 years, recruited people in, built the division up, took on the procurement division, took on extra heads in the team, and from there grew into what is now my role as director at Castle.
I joined Castle in the business division desk to focus on temporary recruitment, and that grew beyond our expectation quite quickly. I managed to then progress quite quickly within a couple of years to a senior consultant here, and then on to be the manager of the division. I then inherited another division in my progression, and in 2022 was promoted to the director of a couple of divisions.
I joined just under 10 years ago, so it was a bit of a career change for me when I had a young family. I had to learn the recruitment industry, which was great, challenging at times. I also studied for my REC exam, so I took the exam in that, which was interesting, going back to studying after quite a long break. So I moved through being a consultant and then moved up to a senior consultant and then progressed onto managing a team and building the accountancy and finance team in Castle. And then eventually I was promoted to become a director.
I started with the business in 2004 when I joined as administrator for a maternity contract after coming in to register for a temp. I then got the opportunity to stay with the business as a consultant. I decided to then progress my qualification in recruitment, did my REC, and then furthered that with my diploma. I then grew out the business support team, hired quite a few people on the team, and was successfully promoted to senior consultant, principal consultant back then. I then took on the role to head up and manage our education team, grew that to a certain point and successfully got the role as manager. Then in 2018 I was promoted to director.
The main challenges I have come across when I had my journey to being a director is that I've needed to believe in myself. I've been lucky in that I've worked with a lot of people who have believed in me and supported me. They gave me the encouragement to progress and they've supported me and given me the confidence to believe in myself. I've found that imposter syndrome is very real and it is also very common. So I've needed to realise that everyone feels this in some point in their life, even people that we perceive as higher up in companies. Understanding that has made it easier for me to believe in myself and understand that I do have the potential as much as anyone else.
Some of the biggest challenges I've faced as a director of a company have been in 2008 in the financial crisis, and in COVID times, and last year, the second half of the year, in the financial crisis, in the COVID times. The market slowed down and I had to make some really difficult commercial decisions that impacted people's lives. And it was those times that were by far the hardest times for me, because I really care for my team. They become my friends along the journey, and losing them has been really hard. The way that I overcame it to not be quite as painful was to make sure the business and individuals were kept in the loop as much as possible. I really believe in transparency, and making sure that the team is aware of what's going on in the business at every step of the way.
That I have a supportive husband at home who helps out with things like school runs and pickups, but I also make sure I take regular time off for annual leave, just so that it gives me that full refresh, and I get to actually then go home and do family time and have some really dedicated family time. So I do make sure I take regular breaks for annual leave.
Over the years, balancing personal life and work has been out of kilter, but I do seem to be getting better at that. For me, that was probably one of the positives that came out of COVID. But honestly, I love work, and so for me it's like a hobby, so it's often very blurred lines on the balance, but I am getting much better at self-care, and I always do remember my appointments when it's massages or when I'm going to the gym, and I really try not to cancel those appointments and make them a priority.
So my personal life looks a little bit different to the rest of the directors and SLT at Castle. I'm the only one that doesn't have children, so I manage my personal life and work-life balance through sport. I always have played a lot of sport, I've always been really active. So I play netball in the Women's League. I play every week, absolutely love it. I also do a lot of running. I spend a lot of time at the beach. So I really try and maintain an active lifestyle to be able to help with the stress relief, and it makes me feel empowered and ready to come to work.
So my daughter's just turned 20. I was a single parent when I had her, and I would hands down now say that she is the one person that inspires me and has done for the last 20 years, because I think without her and needing to drive and be a really strong female leader for her, and somebody that she can look up to, that massively inspired me to be everything that I am today.
I think people like Michelle Obama, who's kind of carved out her career as well as supporting her husband in his role, obviously on the world stage there. But people like Madonna and Beyonce, women who have shown real strength and courage, and have a belief in what they do and how they do things, and don't take no for an answer.
The person I chose that I would say inspires me is Kat Cole, who is the CEO of Focus Brands. Yeah, she started as a waitress to help her mum pay for food for her brothers and sisters. So mum was a single mum, and she worked her way up.
So I would have to say what inspires me is my mum. So growing up, I've always watched my mum be in leadership or management positions and within a male-dominated environment. So now, with me working in the engineering, manufacturing, industrial sector that is still really heavily male-dominated, I find that I can relate to it, and my mum's still now in these positions. We have something to relate to, and it's something that I've always aspired to be like. So yeah, I would definitely say my mum.
I say always be willing to learn and adapt, because things will always change and you'll want to go with them to progress. Understand what you value most as well in life, and find a business that matches your values, because working with a business that your values align will only push you further to achieve more.
I would say believe in yourself, believe in your abilities. Don't be worried if you're the youngest or least experienced person in the room. Your opinions are still valid, so make sure that they're heard.
Being outside of your comfort zone is where you grow. So while it's easy to stay in your comfort zone and do whatever feels easy, you will never grow, you will never learn more unless you get uncomfortable.
I would say give yourself a break and look after yourself. If you don't look after yourself at least once a week, you'll never get to where you want to be because you'll burn out. So yeah, number one piece of advice, make sure at least once a week, even if it's just an hour, there's some me time to take care of you.
Just really explore any growth opportunities within the business that you're working for. Look to see if there's any self-development you can do yourself or any courses you can go on to upskill yourself, and just work as hard as you possibly can to reap that benefit in the long run.
Firstly, you absolutely need belief in yourself, and you really need to work hard. Success does not come to you. You have to work really hard to progress your career. Secondly, never stop learning and seeking out opportunities for growth. Continuous learning will keep you adaptable, agile, and really competitive. And lastly, resilience. The path to success is often faced with setbacks. I've had plenty of them, and it's how you come back from those setbacks that will define your success in your career.